Countdown started.
What?
Countdown has started. Are you serious? All right, hello everybody. How are you guys doing? As you guys all know, this is yeah, you guys should still hear me, right? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. Yeah, learning new things with this software all the time. Um, anyway, as you all know, I'm Max Voltage. Like to dive into things and related to crypto and mining. And so for tonight, decided, I'm sure a couple of you have probably seen it, saw the Vosk coin video where he was going over why he no longer GPU mines, which is a little bit of clickbait because he does still GPU mine. But then we'll go over that. We will also be going over Ethereum gas prices. Thought there were some interesting things there, as well as going over a little bit of the future of the channel. So definitely have some plans. We'll talk a little bit about that. And hopefully you guys will find that interesting. Trying to get at least one or two videos up a week, as well as doing this live stream on Mondays, as well as the live stream on Saturday with Misfit Mining. So anyway, let's get to it. So good old Vosk put out a video today, basically talking about why he's no longer GPU mining. Definitely a great video. Thought it was really interesting. There were definitely some things I agreed with, some things I didn't disagree with. I should say didn't agree with. So sorry guys, I'm a little tired here tonight, but definitely wanted to talk about it. So kind of going through it, he actually has it nicely mapped out here. So he's like, why does he mine less? He kind of went over a lot of different things. One of the things is that he talks about the fact that, 4 years ago, people would mine projects because they believed in them, they supported them. I get that, but times have changed. Back when you were making, I don't know, less than 1/10 of what you're making now, mining Ethereum. I mean, probably 1 to 5% is what you were making back then, except for the one huge spike 4 years ago. But overall, people were doing it to support projects that they believed were going to go up and do well. So, but like I said, times have changed. They did talk about profitability back then, but profitability is pretty much a number one because people who are not your normal techies that would be getting into mining anyway are into mining. I mean, we know that there's been lots of people that may not necessarily be technically savvy, but want to, participate in the mining craze. That's why there's people out there buying, $8,000 rigs for, 200, 300 mega hash. I mean, it's crazy amounts of money for what you actually get in return for those of us that know how to build mining rigs. So, it's definitely a different environment. And to go along with that, I mean, 4 years ago, we had a spike. And I wasn't even involved in it back then, but it was a spike. It went up and it came back down, and it wasn't this long time of extreme profitability that we've seen. I mean, this has never been seen before. This is why you have it from supporting projects to profitability, because it's been profitable for so long. It's given time to have new players come into the market. And the reason why they're coming into the market is because it's profitable. Is that a bad thing? I don't necessarily disagree with them as to whether or not it's good or bad. It's just different. It's the reason why it is the way it is. He would rather have people still supporting projects because they believe in it, as opposed to doing it because it's profitable. It is what it is. He then goes in to talk about how there's no community, and that's where I really didn't agree with him at all. It's a different type of community. You have smaller communities that are all talking to one another. Before, you had Bitcoin talk. Everybody talked on there, and everybody kind of got lost in there a little bit. It was one huge forum. If you've ever been part of a forum, yeah, you have your mini forums because you have these threads that you may belong to and really get involved with. But at the same time, it's this humongous thing. Now with Discord, I think that's really where communities have gone to. Some have actually gone to Telegram, but overall, I think more communities have gone to Discord, where you have YouTubers and influencers creating their own Discord and their own communities, but are basically doing the same thing. It's just in a smaller community where I think a lot more interaction can occur. So in my opinion, I think it's a better thing as opposed to Bitcoin Talk being this like central repository where everybody goes for information, as well as for asking questions. With Discord, you can go to specific places to get very specific answers. You got a question about Hive OS, go to the Hive Discord channel. You got a question about any miner, T-Rex. I'm trying to think. LOL miner, I think, has one. I'm not sure. Anyway, point being is that you can go to a specific Discord and get answers to questions that you want, or in part of your small community, sometimes people can answer, just like Misfit Mining does. Definitely can answer questions within the small community. So then the next thing he brought up was GPU availability. This one really kind of puzzled me a bit. He was saying that he's going away from GPU mining because he can't get GPUs, but he already had GPUs. And for those people that had GPUs, we should all be thinking that there is a shortage, because with the shortage, that's what's helped to elongate this long time of profitability. If GPUs were readily available, you know how fast that Ethereum hash rate would be? We'd be well over, what comes after terahash? Petahash? We'd be over 1 petahash at this point. So that's actually benefited dedicated long-term miners just like Vosk. So that one actually really, really confused me. Maybe he was talking more about building his YouTube channel where you're not going to get as many people coming into the market because they can't get hardware. So you don't have as many people subscribing and getting involved in the overall community. That might be what he's referring to. But like I said, that one kind of confused me a bit. One thing I definitely agreed with him on was where he talked about GPU mining coming to an end. It isn't coming to an end. We all know that there's still going to be coins that are going to be GPU mineable. But the point he was making was that there's all this hash rate out there. And once, Ethereum goes away and goes to proof of stake, whenever that is, that hash rate's going to have to go somewhere. And actually, Seb and I've talked to Seb about this, hopefully sometime in the next month or so, hopefully within the next month. We'll actually get together on a video and talk a little bit about that. He did put together a great spreadsheet with the math of how all of this may come together with proof of stake when Ethereum goes away. And if you take however much hash rate there is going to be at that time, how does it affect all the other coins, given all of the factors, price of those other coins, what their hash rate is. All of this is in the spreadsheet. So definitely fascinating stuff, and it's stuff that changes day to day. So to say what it's going to be, let's say next June is the latest guess as to when they'll go proof of stake, we'll be in a completely different time. We just don't know if that time is going to be more conducive to a transition off of Ethereum and actually have coins that can absorb more hash rate because the prices have gone up or not. We just don't know. But the point that he was making was it's going to be very, very difficult to have all these other coins absorb all the hash rate. And they didn't go into this, but the real question is how much of the Ethereum hash rate is ASICs. because that's going to really drive how much hash rate actually has to find a new home. And when I say find a new home, one of those new homes is selling to gamers, basically just shutting it off. That is a new home. It's just not what any miners that really want to keep going are going to be doing. So it'll be an interesting time. So definitely agree with him that on the basis of what he's saying, which is if you take what we know today, we are not going to be able to be profitable when it goes proof of stake. Again, given where we are today. So again, could totally change. Again, he talks about GPU mining alternatives. Yeah, there's definitely alternatives out there, but again, can't absorb all the hash rate. He also talks about EIP 1559 killing mining. And you guys know I was a big proponent of trying to find some compromise, raising the block reward, things like that. But at the end of the day, the reality is it didn't change profitability much at all, because the value of the coin went up. So, I mean, the big thing is if it wasn't more profitable, the hash rate would not continue to climb, and it continues to climb. So that one, yes, could it be more profitable now? Sure, it could be more profitable, but the more profitable it gets, the more motivated people are to get into the market, and the faster the hash rate goes up. So it's hard to really say exactly what it would have been. I mean, we kind of had a perfect timing of EIP 1559 with with where the gas prices were at that point. Gas prices were at a not historic low or anything, but for the timing of it, they were extremely low. Before that, they were really, really high. And then after 1559, shortly after 1559, the gas prices started going up again. And certainly we'll talk about that in a little bit. Gas prices are high again. Of course, miners aren't benefiting from that. So yes, was it a big, middle finger to miners? You can say that. It's not like they didn't say that they were trying to move to proof of stake all this time. Would I've liked that they didn't do 1559? Of course. But reality, it didn't kill mining. Let's see. And that's pretty much all the notes I had. I mean, bottom line, I think he makes a very, very passionate talk about GPU mining and where he is now with it. I mean, we all know Vosk started out as, as many of us did, just really interested and curious and all that. And now it is about profitability for him. So I know he's saying it on one hand that he's saying, oh, I really, really love that time where we just mined a coin because it was a cool thing and we really all believed in it, kind of like the 60s, where you just, dude, it's really cool and all that. But, he's kind of gone away from that too. He's gone to, a lot more ASICs, very, I'm sure he's probably got a lot of Bitcoin miners. I haven't really been following Vosk much to know exactly what he's doing, but he did mention in the video that he's gone to a lot more ASICs. So he is being a lot more specialized and being very, careful about the investments he's making. He is in it to make money, as we all are at some point. But anyway, I thought that was kind of an interesting contrast of, I think it's kind of where he was and now where he is now. And I think in a way he really relishes and looks back at that time fondly of, oh man, I remember when, I just mined it because it was what I wanted to do. And we had this great community and all that kind of stuff. He still has a good community. He's got a good community that he's built, but now he's more the leader of it. And I think it's just different. And so I think he misses that old period of time. But anyway, if you get a chance, go check it out on YouTube. like I said, I could say I'll link it, but what's the point? Just go, just go find it. He's not hard to find on, and it's his latest one. But I honestly, watching that video, I saw the Vosk of old. That was who, when I started in mining and I was watching Vosk, that's the guy I remember. It was the guy that didn't give two pickles of whatever to what anybody else thought. He was just going to tell you what he thought, and it was just interesting and passionate, and that's what that video is. So if you like the Vosk of All Go, I think you'll see it in that video. Before I go on to the next topic, let me see if I have any questions. I'm guessing I probably do because I've seen this thing scrolling like mad. So thanks everybody for showing up. Really appreciate it. Okay. So let's see. Wow, I really missed a lot here. I'm just going to go over the ones that have actually tagged me. If you have a question for me, feel free to tag me so I can take a look at it. It makes it easier to find. You need one of those plasma balls so your hair stands up when you're dropping knowledge. Actually, I need a haircut in the worst way. This is driving me nuts. I just haven't had any time. Alrighty, let's see here. I miss you too, Shinji, but I will see you soon. Hey, Red Fox, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. You can bring it when you come to visit, Tech Shinji. Alrighty, let me see. Yeah, I'm sure I was probably doing I do it all the time. Thought I was actually doing pretty good with that tonight, but maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, max profits increased after 1559. That's my remembrance of it. Didn't expect it. Nobody expected it, but that's what I saw. And that's all because ETH went up in value, which is what one of the arguments was that, well, if we introduce 1559 and we start burning ETH, the value will go up and it'll benefit miners as well as stakeholders and holders of Ethereum. So they look pretty smart, but would it have happened anyway? I don't know. Nobody, you can't really speculate. You can kind of just really say what actually happened, and that's what happened. All right. I'm telling him, Max Voltage. Telling who what? Can't read everything here. Oh. Yeah, I'll touch on that. I just happened to see somebody said something about Firo, and I'll talk about that in the future of the channel. Yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. Pearl Rival, MC, Chump Change, Red Fox, K-Spec, Golden Wolf, Tech Shinji, I already mentioned, Anonymous Miner. Yeah, I did not expect to get like 30 viewers on my first Monday night. So definitely appreciate it. I definitely see some of the things that I will be talking about shortly. Okay. So next thing I wanted to talk about was Ethereum gas prices, because I thought this was pretty interesting. And specifically, I'm talking about the burnt fees per day. Because when the people that were pushing for 1559, they were saying it's going to cause deflation, it's going to be awesome. Well, no, it wasn't going to cause deflation because it wasn't going to burn more Ethereum than was being generated by the two blocks. Every day, there are 13-second block times on average, which means there are 13,292 Bitcoin generated every single day. Sorry, 13,000, no, yeah, 13,000 generated every day, 13,292. So anytime there's less than that burn, yeah, it's decreasing inflation, but there's still inflation. Well, now if you look at the last few days, last week or so, we've either had deflation or really, really close to deflation. I mean, yesterday we were at 13,224 and we create 13,292. So pretty much even there. But the last 5 days before that, we burned more than we generated. And then today we burned more than we generated as well. So this is actually pretty interesting, and be interesting to see what happens to the price of ETH when I haven't seen anybody, really talking about this, saying, hey, Ethereum's deflationary, woohoo, but I think it's only a matter of time where I think that word will get out there. So I'm curious if that actually creates a new kind of bull run, push the price even higher than it is. So anyway, like I said, this is what I thought was interesting. Well, I will say these darn high gas prices, I haven't taken a payout in like forever, 10 days, because the gas prices have been too darn high. So definitely looking for just give me an hour or two where gas prices are like less than 80. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, we'll see what happens. All righty. Looks like you guys are all talking amongst yourself. Like I said, tag me if you have any comments directly to me or a question. Thanks, Sean C. It's overblown. It's completely overblown. I'm not that smart. I just do research. That's all. So anonymous miner. So, yes, I do. And I will be doing a video on it. But what I would suggest is the first thing that really helped me is go to the Helium Discord, go to the mining. In fact, let me just bring it up here. So go to the Helium Discord, go to, where is it? Hotspot issues. And then go to the pinned messages. Scroll down a bit until you get to this thing. That's a flow chart. You need to make sure that you have the right ports open on your router. Otherwise, you're going to be relayed. So one of the things, I did this on my Comcast modem and I was unrelayed for a long time. Then I had a power issue, it rebooted and reset all my settings, and I was like, forget it. I'm getting an actual router. So right now, 2 days ago, got a new router, redid all these settings. Look like it shouldn't be relayed. It's still telling me that it's relayed though. So a couple things, I may have to do a static IP address because it may be changing the IP address of the Helium miner. I haven't really done a check on that yet. But anyway, definitely check out that flowchart because you definitely want to make sure that you're able to do witnesses. And if you're relayed, you can't do witnesses. So, but I'll be doing some content on that. That's part of my plan in the near future. Let's see what else we got. I will be talking about mining, what I may be doing other than Ethereum in a little bit. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't want. Okay, fine, chum change, if you say so. Yeah. So yes, I am very resourceful when it comes to researching. I kind of just know where to look. I don't know why, but I do. Let's see. Didn't used to be. Didn't used to be so humble. But you know what? Life will humble you. It does. So, okay, I just kind of went to the bottom. Is helium mining, is it worth mining in rural areas? Well, hang on a second. That is my person that works for me calling me, but I will call him back because I am not on the clock right now. Anyway, so is helium mining worth it? Yeah, I mean, it is profitable if you're in an area and you have a setup where you can see other helium miners. So you'll want to look on a helium map to see if there's anybody around you. And you would need to have a setup where you would have a higher gain antenna so that you can have further reach. So if you're in a rural area like in the mountains where you might be in a valley, no, probably not worth it unless it's a highly populated valley. If you're on the top of a mountain or if you're on flat, because when you have a higher gain antenna, if you have a low gain antenna, you're going to get more of a round transmission. So if you're looking at, say, like a router or something like that, if it has one antenna, it's going to be a lower gain antenna, and it's going to basically just have a round transmission pattern. If you have higher gain antennas, you're going to flatten that transmission pattern. So if you're in flatlands, that works great. If you're in hilly lands, you're just going to run that transmission right into the side of a hill. So that's the issue with higher gain antennas. So is there a way to make it profitable in rural areas? And that's a hard question to exactly answer, but there are ways to make it profitable. Put an antenna high. If you're in flat, put a higher gain antenna on it so you can reach much, much further, but you would want an outdoor setup for that. In my particular setup, I've got it in my front window on the second floor in a window that doesn't have any screens. So seems to be doing pretty well. So, all right, let's see what else we got. Your Google F view is strong. Anyway, careful, Mr. Salary, you're live. Yes, I am salaried, but still, I will call him back when I'm done, which will be in about 20 minutes, probably. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about some of the questions that have come up have been about some of this stuff. Some of my plans for the channel. So, well, first of all, coming soon to a Misfit mining store near you, I have max voltage stickers. So I will be setting that up. I'm sending out some friends of the channel stickers out to people here, hopefully this week. And then we'll be looking to set something up on the Misfit Mining store. So more to come on that. The other thing as far as future of the channel is, well, as far as content goes, like I said, I'm trying to get to the point where I'm going to work one video in a week to start on top of the 2 live streams, and hopefully get to the goal of at least 2 videos a week. I have a lot of ideas, just haven't had a chance to, put everything together. And I'm good at starting things, not good at finishing things. So yeah, definitely need to finish the videos I've already started. So some of the ideas I have, and one of them was referred to, is Firo. I want to do a solo mining Firo. I know Red Fox is I believe is planning on doing that. I was talking to Red Band. I said, yeah, do real solo mining. So hopefully I'll join him on that journey as well. And why am I drawing a blank on some of the other things I mentioned? Obviously, the Monday with Max is new. I am drawing a blank. Well, one thing as far as that went, the solo mining, I won't be doing any comparisons. I'm just going to go YOLO. I'm going to go straight solo mining with about 220 mega hash on Firo. It's going to be my entire LHR rig will be on Firo. That rig normally does 425 mega hash on Ethereum. So it'll be doing 220 mega hash on Firo POW. So I'm definitely very curious to see how that does. I did mine Firo during the hard fork, which was pretty profitable. Wasn't anything to write home about, but I wasn't sorry I did it. And the problem that I had was with 2 miners, my ping times were ridiculously high. We're talking hundreds of milliseconds. So I need to make sure that when I mine solo, that I'm not getting those types of high latency, because that'll just kill you mining solo. So anyway, so that's kind of the thing. Let me look. I know I've been writing a whole bunch of things down, so bear with me here 1 second. Obviously, helium mining, I definitely want to do a couple of videos on that. I was thinking about buying a higher gain antenna and doing some sort of test on if it actually increases my profitability or not. They're not that expensive. They're less than $50. So I thought that would be interesting. Be doing a video for stuff that I bought for the basement and some of the changes I've made in the basement. So I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of journeys of people that have their mining in their basement, and whether it's a flood or temperature or whatever, you have an environment where you're not always going to be within eye view of it. And you want to make sure you have good monitoring down in your basement so that you know if something weird happens. So just a couple things I've bought for down there. So I'll be making a video on that as well. Let's see. I'll also be doing a state of the mining, as I call it, the mining garden. It's 1.75 gigahash right now, so can't call it a farm, I don't think. I don't know what would be the definition. I should put out a poll. What's the difference between a mining garden and a mining farm? At what point do you gain enough megahash or gigahash that it becomes a mining farm as opposed to a garden? Anyway, question to all you out there. Anyway, so I'll be showing what's going on there, because I've rebuilt a couple of the rigs, and as you know, as you probably have heard, I built my wife a computer. Well, actually, she built herself a computer. I only got all the parts together for her. That's pretty much all I've got. Let me see what other comments. Cool, Red Fox. Yeah, that would be really cool. That's one of the things I really want to do first. I've been talking about it for a long time. You too. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do the real one. I don't have a Firo wallet. I've been mining to an exchange, and I know mining solo, real solo, you have to be mining to the Firo wallet, as I understand it. So have to get that started. Got to figure out where I'm going to install that. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not really sure why the ping is high. It's generally location for the most part and how many hops you go through. I'm not a networking expert by any stretch of the imagination. Probably something that probably Red Panda can answer better. But yeah, it's distance most of the time. Jay Trevelini, my whole setup is in my basement. It's tough to control the temp. I need to install a lot more ventilation. Yeah, actually, that's one of the things I'll be talking about is I have a fan in the basement one of the fans in the basement that has a like a thermostat on it. So it turns off and, shuts off, turns on. And it's not one of the fancy ones that has like its own thermostat as this degree it's going to turn on and turn off. This is one of these, you just turn it a little bit and see okay, let's just see. I'll turn it here and see what temperature my basement gets. But it was a cheap fan and it works really, really well. So yeah, last night it got cold. It got down to almost freezing last night. And so that was the first time the house has gotten below 70. And I can't remember how long. We had been 75 generally the last month or two since I've added additional hash rate. So, and now that we have the good ventilation in the basement, yeah, it was cold in the basement. It got down to around 68 degrees in the basement which was the same temperature as it was in the rest of the house. Although upstairs bedroom goes to, it got to about 65 degrees last night, which again, my wife loved the fact that it got cold because she slept really, really well. So anyway, definitely pros and cons to that. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that may be a whole nother subject. As far as the history of ETH and where we've been, where we've gotten to. Yeah, I'm kind of assuming a certain level of knowledge with what I'm talking about. So if anybody has any specific questions about ETH, I'll take a few questions on it. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, my wife and I have been talking about what we would do next summer. Whether we install a door in the garage, because we could just install a vent in the garage, kind of would look a little weird, unless we made it a window or something. But generally in our neighborhood, having a door in the side of your garage, your attached garage, is a normal thing. So we were talking about installing a door in the garage and then putting fans in the door itself so that you could pull air in and out of a space in the garage, and then either install a grow tent in the garage, or the other alternative is to install a grow tent in the basement and do ventilation that way. So I don't know. We've kind of gone back and forth. We just started talking about it a bit to start planning. Biggest problem with putting it in the garage is then I got to have another guy come out with and install 220 in the garage, as opposed to what I have now, which is in the basement and was super cheap to install. So we'll see. Anonymous Miner, I was thinking about mounting fans in the door too. Easy to remove and fix. Yeah, exactly. You put a door there. You can always put another door on, as long as it's a standard door frame. Actually got that idea from Mining Chamber. He had a door where he had a fan on the top and a fan on the bottom, and obviously the fan on the top was drawing out, the fan on the bottom was pulling in. So obviously, heat rises, makes sense. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know. We're still in the very, very early stages of talking about that. Yeah, I love the grow tent. Biggest thing with grow tents is I've always seen the temperatures are a lot higher than what I'm used to. I'm used to mining with the 3000 series cards, no more than in the low 50s for the most part on Ethereum. If you switch to a different coin, it's going to be higher. So yeah, we'll see. Going back, I saw Max Voltage. Yes, Solo Mind Firo. I think I've seen you. Somebody banned that guy. I think he's spamming the channel. Anyway. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, Spec. Again, I'm at the very early stages of trying to figure out what we're going to do. That is so far down the road right now. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on through the end of this year. Is crypto shaped here? Oh, I guess he is. There he is. So, well, I am going to wrap this up. I didn't want to make it too long for my first one, but thank you, and hopefully I'll have the uhs a little bit more gone as I do this more and more. So one of the things I've learned from this, if you go back and watch some not to be named YouTubers, pretty much any of them, their first videos can be a little cringeworthy because they haven't practiced, and that's where I'm at. So I am dedicated to practicing this a lot more and having some fun with it. along the way, hopefully sharing some knowledge along the way. Hope more than anything, would love to share like what my research. What do I do when I'm presented with a problem? What do I do? Hopefully, be able to share some of that as well. So, one last check through the chat. Got it. K-Spec. Thanks, Anonymous Miner. I really, really do appreciate that. I noticed, Jay Trevelyan, I noticed my grow tent is 8 degrees Fahrenheit higher than my room temp on average. I use an 8-inch, 804 cubic feet per minute fan with no intake right now. I had 20 GPUs in it. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to really think about it. I mean, the house, God, it ran so much power this year. So glad we're into cooler temperatures, and especially considering I'm on what they call hourly rate pricing. It's real time pricing, so it's all market rate pricing. I save on my standard rate. My standard rate is 12.6, and I'm talking all in. That's taxes, supply, and distribution. So all of that put together, averaged out with how much I'm actually using and how much it costs, it's 12.6 cents is the standard rate. Last month was the highest that I had been in a long time, and it was 11.7 cents. So still saving, but not saving anywhere near as much as I was saving like 7 or 8 months ago when I was at 9.1. So yeah, I'm hoping that we kind of get back to some of those lower prices. It would be nice. And if we don't, at least hopefully I can save on the electricity, because I don't use as much air conditioning as I've used in the past. Thanks, Jay Trevelyan. I appreciate that. I know a couple other people, Chump Change as well as Hobbyist, have experience there as well. So I know I've got a plethora of people that I can go to. So again, definitely appreciate it. So, all right, what did Pearl Rival say to, stay consistent. If you got nothing at your level, we have plenty at ours. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Yes, and it is all about the journey. We're all learning together, all having fun together, creating community. More than ever, those people that know me, and I think most in here know what I'm talking about. When we all go through rough times, a lot of people here have been there for me. So I definitely appreciate you all. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys all go. Again, thank you so much. Smash that like on the way out. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and you guys have a great night.